Hi folks, it's Gary from the Average Tabletop Gamers. Today I'm going to be doing a review of 4Ground's pretty great MDF terrain. Over to Sven to do the graphics thingy. Hi folks, so what have we got here? This is another part of my salute haul. Went down to the UK's biggest wargaming event this year with a few mates and it was really great. And while I was there I came across the 4Ground stand. Now I'm not going to lie, I've seen 4Ground models before. I'm very aware of them and who they are in the wargaming industry, in the terrain industry, and I love their stuff. It tends to be a touch at the pricey end for most people because a lot of it's pre-painted. However, I wouldn't let anyone dissuade you from getting it because of that price point, because it's pretty spectacular. Saves you a hell of a lot of effort. It's really great to use. So what's the concept? You basically get laser etched terrain, which comes in these you get separate sheets which contain all the components. All the elements are just easily punched out with a little bit of care. Some of them you might want to use a knife, but I find the 4Ground stuff so well done that you don't even need to do too much with that. With some gentle poking and prodding in it will come out. So I saw these models and I just thought I've got to get them. I've got an Old West collection, I've got some buildings that I built myself, and I'm starting to probably replace them with slightly better terrain, which the new laser MDF terrain just represents. Now this as well, the great thing about it being a building under construction, you don't have to paint anything because let's face it, this is what it's going to look like. If you imagine in the Old West, you're going to be getting something under construction. A lot of Western buildings were all timber construction, or they might be in timber with canvas cladding. So these are really evocative, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of these in your favourite movies, where they've got boom towns under construction, mining settlements and things like that. So these will fit into anywhere in your Wild West gaming, your Dead Man's Hand gaming. But beyond that, to be honest, I think the scope for them, it's really there, and that's it. However, for the skirmish gaming I've done with this, I just love doing it. It's really well worth getting. So how complicated are these to build? Well, 4Ground give you a wonderful rating system. So this is skill rating 4, and it's probably best going to check out their website for this, because depending on your skill level, you'll want to make the judgment yourself of if you think, actually, is it going to be a bit much for me? I wouldn't let any of these dissuade you, but I'll give you some of my experience from this kit. You get a wonderful set of instructions it's a full colour photocopy, and it's just really nice, very simple to follow. But I will say this, these roof sections look absolutely fantastic. However, in the instructions, it doesn't tell you what an absolute pain in the bum they are to build. I had to get the PVA into all the relevant segments, and I had to do a lot of faffing around to get these right. There's a danger if you don't have something on the surface, you're going to stick them to your table or your workshop area, or however you do your building. My suggestion would be put some thick paper down at least. I actually used the back of the instructions, to believe it or not. And what I did is I built the models on the board, so that if they did stick, they weren't going to have too much of an impact peeling them away from the paper. And I let them fully dry on the spare pieces of MDF that you get. So why did I do this? Well, to be honest, you've really got to get that kit right, because you want to leave the rooftop, as I have done as I start the game, fully detachable. Because I immediately saw these and thought, well, what use are these going to be in my games, when actually I'm never going to be able to interact with them when you've got all that space inside. But 4Ground have left them brilliantly so that you can actually take the roof off. But as you can imagine, you've got all these buttresses, and then you've got all these long frames. Now don't get me wrong, you've got guide points to glue them into, but it doesn't make it any less of a faff to do. And I just found that a little bit annoying. As my wife would tell you, I was getting a little bit sweary and irate when I built them, but once I'd done it, to be honest, they weren't that complex really. It was just me being a little bit, to use a good northern expression, cack-handed. But I managed to build them pretty well, and I'm really chuffed with the effect. I've placed some of my Black Scorpion Native American warriors inside to give you an idea for scale. I was going to use some of my painted Wargames Foundry models. I managed not to be able to find them in all of my Wargaming clutter. So let's just take the roof off this. So you can have a look inside, and as you can see, you can take it off, you can move your models around from place to place as you need to, whatever you need for your gaming, and they work absolutely fantastically. So what's one of the downsides? Well, they're going to be a little bit flimsy and hard to store. So if you're going to buy buildings of these size, you're going to have that to contend with. However, for most wargamers, we've got a space, we've got an area, we know how we're going to store things, so just plan a little bit ahead with that. The other thing I'd say, as you can see from the slightly larger model, you can see the sidewalk there. Sidewalks were a feature in the Old West. Everything would be built on rough foundations, so you'd need something to get over the mud and the earth and give a better presentation. And there's add-on kits, as you can see in the 4Ground instruction guide there. So how much were these? The smaller building here was £11, the larger building was only 50p more. And these are fantastic value. So you're thinking £22.50 for two really brilliant looking pieces of terrain, you can't go far wrong. I really like these. I think 4Ground have done an absolutely brilliant job. I think they've done a really nice bit of kit, and if you want to get your Old West games underway, your Dead Man's Hand gaming or something with a Wild West theme, even your role playing you might be doing, then check out 4Ground. I think these are brilliant kits. Check out their full colour range. I think you'll be pretty blown away. You'd have to plan your purchases carefully, like I say. It's not the cheapest, but like anything in life, you get what you pay for. So overall, these are just excellent pieces of kit. Really enjoyable, really great on the battlefield, really great on your tabletop, and something any model would happy to have in the collection. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. If you want to check this out, I'll try and get some photos over to Sven so we can get this on our social media channels. He'll probably scroll these across the screen somewhere about here, I think. So we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on Twitter. Check these out and go check out the 4Ground website, check out the 4Ground social media pages. Absolutely wonderful pieces of kit. Thanks, guys.